All right, friends. So today we are talking about dialogue. Do you know what dialogue is? Well, dialogue is when you have talking in your writing. So let's look at the essential question for today. How can authors use dialogue in their writing? So we're going to read the Lesson 12 mentor text right now. I can't believe we're actually here, I exclaimed. The feeling of butterflies in my tummy had not stopped since we had gotten out of the car in the parking lot and began walking toward the happiest place on earth. I felt the excitement rise inside of me from the bottom of my feet to the top of my head. My family was in line to hand our tickets to the smiling man in the bright blue and red uniform. Welcome to Disneyland. You are now entering the happiest place on earth, the ticket taker exclaimed. I looked at my sister and she was wearing a grin from ear to ear. As we walked through the turnstile, I stopped to take in my surroundings. There was beautiful flowers carefully planted through the entrance. My eyes got wider as I saw thousands of flowers working together to make a giant Mickey Mouse head. I observed as families upon families took their pictures in front of it. Let's go, bud, my dad called out to me as my family walked out in front of me. I hurried to catch up with my family. The giant green iron gate stood open, inviting us in. There were so many things to see. I watched as kids ran up to little white and red carts. They were selling colorful Mickey-headed shaped balloons. Also, there was a little red and black trolley cart selling gigantic corn dogs. The aroma of buttery popcorn wafted under my nose. Next, I saw Goofy and Pluto waving at us as I walked slowly, taking it all in. There were rows of shops that lined the streets selling toys, candy apples, and stuffed animals from every Disney movie. Suddenly, my eyes saw the most enormous blue, white, and gold castle. It was the castle from Sleeping Beauty. "Oh, kiddos, where should we go first?" questioned Mom. I glanced at my sister. Her mouth hung open, and her eyes were as wide open in wonder as mine. Finally, her eyes met mine, and her shoulders raised in a shrug. I closed my eyes and pointed blindly to a spot on the map in her hands. I opened them to see where my finger had landed. We all exchanged looks and nodded in agreement. There were the biggest smiles all around. "Lead the way, kiddos," Dad hollered. My sister and I were off before we had finished his sentence. We had never been so excited to explore such an incredible place. So let's reread some examples of dialogue. What about at the beginning? I can't believe we're actually here. That's dialogue. The writer was saying that because it says I exclaimed. Let's look another. What about welcome to Disneyland? You are now entering the happiest place on earth. The ticket taker said that. Can you find another one? Great job. Let's go, bud, my dad called out to me. Great job. Where's another? There's at least 2 more that I see. Perfect. Well, kiddos, where should we go first? Questioned Mom. And lastly, lead the way, kiddos, the dad hollered. So I want you to look at how the dialogue helps readers. When an author shares the exact words that a character said, we call this dialogue. Using dialogue helps readers to better understand the story and feel like they were there. They can hear exactly what you heard. So you're kind of like listening into the story, to this important moment in this person's life. You're listening in, you're right there. So we're going to look at our anchor chart at dialogue. That is our last section for this anchor chart. We can use dialogue as the beginning of a story. Sorry, I'm just trying to move that. So if you look right here again, see how at the top, I use dialogue to bring us in, to lead us into the story. So listen to this. I can't believe we're actually here, I exclaimed. Well, wouldn't you want to know where we are and why they're excited? Absolutely. So it's a great way to leave in. Another one. Stay close to your chaperone, Mrs. Anderson called after us. Well, what do we have a chaperone for? Where are we? You want to know these things, so you keep reading, and that's what a lead does so beautifully. So what I want you to do is I want you to go back to where you did the leads. I want you to go back to your draft and add dialogue. So whatever you drafted last week, your seed story, I want you to go back and I want you to add dialogue to that. I want you to close your eyes and hear exactly what was happening during that small moment. Don't worry about punctuation at this point because we're going to learn about that coming up. So I want you to go to that in your writer's notebook. You should already have that page done. You're just adding stuff in there. So you're just clicking in and typing in there. I can't wait to read your dialogue, and it's going to really make your story come together. So go ahead and do that, and then you can free write. Well, this should probably take the rest of your time. So go ahead and write this until the rest of your time. Bye, guys.